Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the workshop about how to set up your mini studio in your home or office. The purpose of this video is to show you that literally there's, unless you're in a cave with no light at all, there is a way to set up a decent shot for your videos. Now, I want to preface this. I'm going to give you information that anybody can use, but obviously I'm not in your house, I'm not in your office, and everybody's situation is a little bit different. For me, I'm a lifestyle minimalist, and I don't have like a house right now. I'm a digital nomad. I sort of work where I'm at that has an internet connection, but I stay several months in one place. So right now I'm in an apartment in La Paz. It's very small, but again, I'm a minimalist. It's the way that I like to run, my business and not have too many things around me to worry about. If you're not that way, even if you're the opposite, if you have a huge house, you like, you comfort from a lot of different things around you, you can still set up a decent video mini studio without a lot of time and effort and money. And that's what I'll show you today. First thing you'll notice is the sound is pretty crappy right now, pretty janky. And the reason for that is I'm not using a microphone. And that's because right now my assistant, Sergio Zavala, who I'm going to introduce to you right now. Dice hola.
Hello, everybody.
He's recovering from a cold. So he's helping me. We're using actually my laptop to film this part of it because I want to show you, if you are filming with your smartphone, obviously I can't show you the smartphone and film with it at the same time. So we're actually using a laptop with an app, just using the camera in the laptop. It's a Chromebook to shoot this video. So that's why the sound right now is pretty bad because I'm not using a mic. But I'll show you the mic that I do use and how to hook it up to your phone when we get into the mini studio area. So what I do, the way I started out doing video, I have always shot on location. I've never used like a studio. So the way I started out doing video was I would show up on location at a business or at the location of a small business or an office, never having seen the place before. And I would choose a place to shoot, set up my gear, and we would get a 20-minute interview with the owner about what they do, why they do it, what makes them different, a little marketing video. I'd shoot it, and then I'd get some other shots of the business. I'd take it home, and I'd edit it and put it together as a marketing video. So I have been in literally hundreds of places figuring out how to set up your shot. So what this is to do is to help you figure that out today, and this is the exact process that I use. So I come into a room, and first thing I look for is a window. So right now we're in the kitchen of this apartment and the window is here, as you can see. So, decent curtains and stuff. The texture behind me wouldn't be too bad over here. So if we go over here, as if I'm going to do this in front of the window, but look what happens to the light. And with the iPhone, this is going to be even worse because the smartphones are really, especially the iPhone, they're very sensitive to light. So you definitely would need a light in front of me for this shot, right? So it's possible. I could put a light in front of me. So I put this on my possibility list. The way, if you were to want to use the light in this room all by itself, then look, the light is so much better. You can see to my eyes. That's what we want when we see that white light in your eyes. That's what you want in your shot. But look at the background. Bad. Junky, well, not junky, but I'm in the kitchen. It's obvious. My business is not about cooking, recipes, anything like that. So there's no reason for me to be shooting my videos in the kitchen. In fact, I don't recommend it unless your business is about recipes or something to do with cooking. Okay. So that leads me to say, well, I can't move all that stuff out of the way. And plus I don't really I can't set up a studio in my kitchen and kind of leave it there. You know what I mean? Because this is a small place. And what my goal is to set up, be in a kind of a corner where I can actually leave my light nearby and know that within 5 or 10 minutes, I can just switch my setup around kind of at my desk area and do my videos. And that's what I've accomplished in the next room. So we'll go in there now. Okay. So this is the bedroom. It's a studio apartment, like I said, really small. That's the bathroom. Obviously not going to shoot videos in there unless we do, spa kind of stuff. But I do actually have some friends that shoot videos or do podcasting in their master bedroom closet, which isn't a totally bad idea because the sound in there is really good. But that's getting off topic for here. So this is the bedroom, and I'm not going to show you the messy side. And that is one reason why in our method, we teach you to shoot from about this composition is kind of what I call it. I want, number one, people are watching these on their phone and on their laptop or on their iPads, right? So I want them to see your face and not be thinking about the background when your screen is this big, right? So when you set up your videos, you want to be setting up from about, chest level up. The good news is with that too, you don't have to worry about what you have on the bottom. You don't have to worry about your shoes. You don't have to worry about your pants or your skirt. You can literally be in your flip-flops with a nice top on and do your videos. That's the other reason we ask you to frame a little bit closer in. Once again, you can always get fancier later if this isn't, exactly how you want your ultimate videos to look, but it's a great place to start. However, this lighting is pretty bad, right? So what did I do in the other room? In the other room, I stood in front of the window first just to see what that would be like. So let's do that, Sergio. Gracias. Okay. So already much better, right? I mean, this I could almost get away with. And the curtain, could you open the curtain behind you? See? That's our friend, natural light. So we always want to look for some natural light in our shots. So that's actually not bad at all, and that could be a shot. But I do recommend that you buy a box light, and we have gear recommendations in this workshop as well that you can check out. There's a whole page that lists just a few things that you need to do video. So you can set up a box light to sort of augment the natural light that you're getting. And the other thing I'm not crazy about is, can you see right behind my hand, there's kind of a bright spot here. And that's not something I would, stress over, but it would be easy to get rid of it. And so that's what I want to do as well. Also, I'm not crazy about the air conditioner behind my head too. So what I'm going to show you in a minute is why I shoot sitting down. The difference between sitting down and standing up shooting sometimes is energy level. Sometimes you have more energy for standing up. And that's a great reason to do it. Sometimes, again, it's just to simplify your background. And let me show you, add a box light to this. Yeah. So this is my friend, the box light. Now this is a little bit bigger one than I recommend because this is a kind of more professional version from my old days of doing this professionally. And I've carded my box lights all over Mexico. I love them. They give you really soft light, but you can get the same effect with a less expensive setup from Amazon as well. Let me just switch this on. And that's going to kind of blow you out there. So go back here, baby. Gracias. Over here. This way. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to pretend now. So I want you to pretend like the camera, when you're shooting, like if you're standing here, the camera's in front of you. Okay. Right now, like I said, we're recording this with my laptop, but the camera or the smartphone is set up right behind the laptop as if like we were recording with that. So it's the same positioning for whatever device you're using to record, because some people use their iPads to record as well. So this is without the supplemental light, and that's with a little bit more. So it's just kind of bringing a little bit more light. I want to move it again because I don't want all the light coming from the front. I want a little bit on the side, sort of. This is called fill light. And here, go back there, por favor. Yeah. Yeah, so that's called, no. Okay. You go, perfect, okay. Muy bien. So, that's called fill light. And can you see where we're getting a little bit of light here, just for interest? And I can also play with this more with my positioning and bring it closer in. And then I've covered up the hot spot behind me that I didn't really like. See how it's kind of reflecting a little bit bright? I covered that up. I'm standing here. But what you don't want is anything growing out of the middle of your head, okay? So I don't want you to do this. You see in the shot how that looks like that darker line, the cover behind me is growing out of the middle of my head? We don't want that. We also want your eye line Here, you want it to be about if you divide your screen into thirds, 1, 2, right? Here's the bottom third, here's the middle third, and here's the top third. You want your eye line to be kind of at around the range of the top third. So that looks more natural, right? Just check this out for a minute. Compare that shot to this one or this one. See the big difference? And that's literally like less than 2 inches difference. But see how this looks really not so professional, and like I've got this thing coming out of the top of my head. It's very distracting. I don't like it. So I'm going to come over here. I'm just going to move the camera a little bit down. And much better. The other thing that's good about this shot is this line. Let's see, I'm doing it backwards. So this line here, you see how it's kind of directing the eye line to my face? We like that in shots, okay? We like that in video. You want to have diagonals if possible, or lines kind of directing the person to the focus being your face. Okay, I'm sorry I'm not looking at the camera too much because I'm adjusting my own visual here. So that's the standing up. Okay, that's how you look for some light. You get a little bit of fill light going on over here. You want to avoid super dark shadows, okay, like super contrasty dark shadows. I have a little bit here, but I'm not going to worry about this. It's not for a BMW commercial. It's for getting decent quality video that you're going to feel good about putting out there, but you don't spend 3 days setting up, right? Yeah. Okay. So this is a decent standing up shot for my business, which is, online video, and I've got my calendar in the back. It's a good reference that this is my office space, even though it's my bedroom too. And some of you have that too, but I didn't have to worry about a bunch of stuff in the background. Okay, I want to also show you like a sitting down version of this. And before I do that, let's talk about sound. Once you get your setup, kind of your lighting figured out, then you stop just for a minute and you listen to the room. Okay, there's an air conditioner on in this room. Sometimes the AC goes on and off and we forget about it, but we want to turn it off. So I'm going to turn that off right now. Yeah, and even without the microphone, that really helped, right? So always turn off fans, turn off AC. You might have to cycle the AC because you don't want to get too warm if you're in a hot place. But you want to turn off any noise that you can control. Turn off your phone, all those beepy things in your life now. Just make a checklist. And I have several checklists in the method that I teach. But create your checklist around remembering the things you want to remember to do before you shoot. And that'll help you a lot too. Checklists are your friend. Okay. All right. Please show them the phone. Turn this way. Yeah. So this is one setup with the phone. Okay, we got the light. Just show you real quick. So super simple bracket. I've got recommendations for brackets, but basically if you don't have experience with a tripod, they all have most of them have the same size little screw on the top. And most of the brackets are compatible with the traditional, what is it called? The standard size tripod mount. This is called a mount. Let me just show you that real quick. So this part here, this flat thing, that's called the mount for the tripod. And if you have a selfie stick that you like, some of the better selfie sticks, or a little bit more expensive ones, actually the mount part comes off and you can use that on your tripod. Or you can just order a mount on Amazon or go to your local video camera store and they'll have some too. Again, I've got recommendations about that. I don't give you tons of recommendations because the whole idea is to keep it simple. And really all you need is something that's going to keep it relatively stable. Okay, and this is a tripod that collapses really easily. Not super heavy duty. I would not use this with a really nice camera. It's because the smartphone is more lightweight, and a really nice camera needs a little bit more stability. But if you were shooting with your smartphone, This is awesome. And you want something that collapses so that you can take it with you if you need to. Okay, so now we're going to do the desk setup. So if you come around here, por favor. Okay. Perfecto. Okay, puedes mostrar aquí. Can you show here? So this is actually it's a selfie stick, but it's a selfie stick. And the thing that's awesome about it is it has this little automatic on and off switch in it. You can turn your videos on and off with this. You can also order these on and off switches for your phone, separately online as well. But that's really helpful when you get into doing your takes, because then you don't have to go around the camera every time you want to turn it off. Does that make sense? We get into actually how to do your takes and how to shoot. This way, please. Yeah. How to do your takes and how to shoot more in the whole course. But this was just to show you your setup so you can get ready to shoot. Okay, so once again, you got your phone. I recommend you shoot with your smartphone if you're doing these kind of videos. If you're just doing streaming video, then you don't necessarily have to worry about the smartphone, but you still want to be paying attention to composition and light. Okay, so if I set this up like this, then also the tricky thing is you're going to be shooting, you're going to be looking at this side of your phone while you're shooting. And that's because when you shoot with the opposite, like when you flip the phone around, the resolution is not as good. Now, maybe that's okay and you don't care about that. It's up to you. Do a test shot with shooting this way with your phone or turning it around and doing it the other way. I recommend, though, you try to get the best high quality resolution you can in shooting this way. You can put a mirror out here to check your shot. That can be really helpful, or you can have a friend help you, and that's really helpful too. Okay, I wanted to show you the microphone that I suggest. Maybe it's a little bit, and a little bit closer in. Okay, see, once again, I just fixed my shot, and that was literally just less than 2 inches of moving around. And that's the other thing I like about framing close in is it's really easy to fix your composition. Okay, and once again, I don't have anything growing out of the middle of my head. I'm not like this, and I'm not super crazy about this shiny spot, so we are going to fix that in a minute. I just want to show you the microphone first. So this is the Rode Smart Lav. I love it. I think it's the bomb for starting out, especially if your phone has a headphone jack. It just fits right into the headphone jack. Now, Apple, in their infinite wisdom, did away with the headphone jack in the iPhone 7 Plus, I think. So they give you this little, before the iPhone 10, they give you a little white adapter. It's called a dongle. And that plugs into the power here. And then the other end is the headphone jack. So if you don't have the headphone jack anymore, you need a dongle. And that's what they call it. There's, again, more information in the list that I can send, or the page that I can send to you. But, and then you can plug the microphone into your phone. The problem with that is you can't charge your phone at the same time. And that's kind of a drag because obviously the dongle is taking up the charging port. So just be sure that your phone is charged up before you start shooting. There are some dongles out there that have two ends. One is to charge and the other is, again, for the microphone. But I read varying reviews. Some of those don't work super well. They're not super expensive, though, so I would say, give one a try if you'd like. But for now, just use your dongle just to get started and just make sure your phone is charged. Okay, great. So that is, and then here's the other thing. It's a little bit unorthodox, but I teach for this kind of video. So once again, I'm sitting like this. I usually wear black, so if I'm close enough, you can snake this up your shirt and do this and kind of try to hide it a little bit better than it is right now. You don't want jangly necklaces on because that's going to cause a lot of noise, or really stiff, crisp fabric is going to cause, like a silk, is going to cause some noise too. So just be careful with what you're wearing. I'm not saying don't wear a silk, but if you wear something and you can't hide your mic up high, what you can do is just keep it outside and just clip it on a little bit lower to where it's out of the frame. Just make sure that this part is sticking up, but you're clipping it a little bit lower. And then just raise your voice just a tad, and then it's going to pick it up because these are really good mics. And that this is a possibility because you're closer to the camera, right? If you're far away and we're doing a whole upper body shot, or even you looking super foxy, up on a chair, which is awesome, we're going to have to mess with the sound quite a bit more. And once again, my goal is to get you guys shooting decent quality video without a bunch of fuss to start with. We can always get fancier later. But for now, if the mic is giving, like where do I put the mic? If that's giving you fits, just put it a little bit high, put it on your boob, a little bit high up, but out of the frame. My assistant, good ideas. But keep it out of the frame and it will still pick up the sound. Okay? So mic stress done. Done with the mic stress. Okay. Last piece is, so if this is my setup to do desktop video. And kind of like I told you guys, I didn't really like, let me fix this. So what I'm going to do, another thing is the quality of this setup would look better on an iPhone, on your smartphone, just because it records better quality. But, last thing I want to tell you, if you're doing smartphone video or streaming videos, you can use like a nicer mic if you want to, especially if you're doing lots of them, lots of streaming videos, but you can also just use headphones. Some people don't know this, but the nicer headphones have a built-in microphone, and you can plug that in. Let's see if it works here. So I'm not streaming right now, I'm pre-recording this, but that should have made a difference in the sound setup. So you can just use your headphones, your audio microphone or headphones that you've been using for other things. You don't have to necessarily get a nice expensive mic to do streaming video, but you should use some sort of microphone because it really does improve the quality of your sound and it doesn't cost much money. These are Urban Ears. They're from a brand called Urban Ear, and I like them because they're a little bit nicer quality and they last a long time. I've had 2 pairs and they've been everywhere with me, and I've been a lot of places. So Urban Ears is a tip for you for live stream, and even you can experiment with these, in one ear for even some marketing type videos as well. But also go ahead and just pick up the Rode Lav mic, this one, because it really does give you great sound and it's not that much harder to use. Okay. Well, maybe I'll just leave that in because I'm setting up this shot. Okay. So we're pretending once again, I'm being filmed with my laptop, but I'm going to pretend like it's my smartphone that I'm using to film myself. And again, this is how I would set up my shot. Now, I can that thing in the back, I would move that. I can move those out of the way. I can move my chair a little bit. So what I don't want to do is I don't want to shoot like this. Okay, so I'm sitting at my desk and I don't like this angle because I'm looking down on you. It's not flattering for me. It's not, the subliminal messaging is kind of iffy. I mean, I am presenting myself as a trusted advisor, right? But I don't want to be looming over you. Okay. So what I like to do is take your laptop and put it up on a box or something, stack of books or play with your composition a little bit. And then you would want to come in. And once again, what did I tell you about the eye line, right? So you want your eye line about 1/3 of the way. Yeah. So just being very patient with all my adjusting here. You want your eye line about 1/3 of the way. And then I'm even going to play with it more because I don't like the air conditioning up there. So can you see how this sort of just becomes an exercise in tweaking at the end? You get your light set up. I'm going to bring this one in. Yes, that's much better. And because I don't like that. Okay, we're getting closer. Sorry, baby. Yeah, so that's getting closer to being my shot. Now, the only thing, I like the background in this one of what's happening over here because I'm at my desk, I'm busy, I'm working hard for you guys, but I have this thing growing out of the middle of my head, right? So I have to come around even a little bit more. Much better. Yeah, much better. So now I've got some definition behind me. There's a little bit of contrast, but it's not distracting. And also nothing is growing out of the middle of my head. And I could just sit here and do videos all day long with this setup, with the natural light over here, the box light here. I've got my microphone. I would have my smartphone on a tripod in front of me, or I'd be live streaming with my laptop like this. And that's your shot. And once you do this 2-3 times, it becomes much easier. You can also, put tape down. If you can't leave your lights up, you can put tape down to remind you where they were, and just put them back there whenever, just pull them out and put them there when you're ready to shoot again. And that's pretty much all there is. So there's 3 things. It's light, it's sound, is where you put your face in the frame. Okay. And this whole system is to simplify all of that for you, and so that you can get started pretty inexpensively shooting your videos in your home or office mini studio. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this tour. And please let me know if you have any more questions. And I will probably also do like a slide presentation around setting up your studio as well. But I want to kind of show you in vivo, like in person, how we can do this. I also offer this as a service. We do it virtually. Literally, you take me around your house with your iPad or your phone, and I help you find a place to set up your video studio. I do that for my private package coaching clients. So if that'd be something that'd be interesting to you, let's be in touch. Okay, I can help you with all of this. Thanks so much. Bye.